Oh, what to do, folks? I hope you're treating yourselves oh so well, and of course others. My name is Claire, and this is a channel where we like to do tarot readings. Today, what's coming towards you and why? So that could be if a person is coming towards you, or a life change, a new situation in your life. But we shall get to the bottom of it. What is coming towards you and why? All right, pile one. Thrilled you were here. And let's see. Okay, pile one, King of Pentacles. Hello. Hi. King of Pentacles, perhaps someone has evaded putting down roots in their life in some way, form, or fashion. It's almost like someone didn't delegate their efforts properly, or there was an ego issue and someone failed to, I want to say, penetrate their own insufficiency. Someone has a hard time building with other people. This person came to you feeling like you were kind of I want to say a mark, but it's almost like this person thought that you were so nice that they could build with you, but on their own terms. This person took advantage of the fact that you were understanding to a fault. This situation is coming to a head soon. I think that there is a conversation that will be had. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse. The identifying factors of, I don't think that this person has spoken about their downfalls, or I keep on hearing delegated. So I really think that this person has never actualized their actions to them being a person. I know that sounds deranged, but this person doesn't really see themselves as a person that affects other people. The way that they act is not necessarily evil. It's just devoid of taking accountability or taking into account other people's feelings. I think that this person has thought about you deeply because you actually have made them feel the results of their actions in certain ways. You have stood up for yourself, and by that, others. You're kind of putting an end to the cycle of this person being able to sever their identity with their actions. It's almost like this person has gone through life not feeling like the things that they do have much consequence, and that kind of is how you were in the past as well. It's almost like you have figured out how to navigate being on this planet, but feeling a divide from a lot of people. It's almost like the Four of Cups, and it was upright, with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. It makes me think that you are going to be able to speak to this person in what you should find is, you might be at a period where you're not speaking to this person, or something is at a bit of a lull. I would use this time to offer yourself a respite. I think that you need to communicate with this person in a healthy, I'm hearing legible, which perhaps maybe you have a lot of emotion pent up in this situation from past instances where you feel like people have slighted you or taken advantage of you, and that is very much within your realm to evade. Like, you're trying to not deal with people like that any longer. This person does not mean harm in the way that the people in the past meant harm, and I think you can feel that. but at the same time, you're not willing to deal with people, the Five of Wands in reverse. You're not willing to fight or overindulge in a deceptive lifestyle. You're not willing to just be along for the ride any longer. You need there to be clarity. You need people to be upfront with you. If there is someone might have a passive nature. And when I say that, you've dealt with a lot of passive aggressive people in your life, maybe throughout family members or coworkers, friends. A lot of people have been passive aggressive in certain ways, and you are putting the absolute definite end to that in certain ways of just, you're putting a lot of things to rest in your life, and that is coming to a clear, definite order. I think that your actions, as of lately, you're taking the reins. Your power is being delegated. I think your intuition is heightened. You're learning how the world kind of gives you hints and how you put that into order of your life. Like, life will, I think you understand what I'm saying, where life kind of tips you off and then you are making better decisions for yourself. You are getting better results. The fact that you're fighting for certain things, it's looking better on you. It's feeling better. In certain ways, things that you were nervous about doing are kind of giving you, I'm hearing amplified grace. So the fact that you're fighting is looking good on you in some way, form, or fashion. I think you figured out how to complement the battle that you're in, because you're not able to get out of the devil in reverse. You're not able to flee the situation that you're in, so you are fighting, and for better. You're fighting for good. It's where you were feeling lack in certain aspects of your life. This fight is starting to actualize in forward motion. And I think where people have not fought for you in the past, they are beginning to do so, or feeling the urge to do so. The things in your life where you feel such a open wound towards people doing a certain thing to you over and over and over again, I think that is the Eight of Cups. You're willing to walk away from anything, making it easier for you to have those hard conversations, whereas in the past you just walked away because you're like, either way I'm going to be in pain. But realizing now that when you fight for certain things, you get better results. Sometimes you get people being more trusting, or people connecting to you in certain ways because you're willing to just sit there and communicate. And I think this whole amalgamation of, when I say the fight, it's you learning to communicate your feelings more astutely, more lucid, you being kinder when you speak to people, maybe not adding in names or not being pointy fingers, not pointing fingers. It's almost like when you communicate, you're like, these are the things that I feel and these are the things that I know about a certain situation that I'm capable of being in or not capable of being in. You are speaking from your perspective, whereas people, you're not attacking any longer. You're being more defensive. It's not an offensive move for you to stand up and be like, this is the things that I'm willing to deal with. These are the things that I have been going through. This is how I feel. This is what I want. These words, they become less harsh. They become less rigid. I think love is creeping in to your atmosphere. I think people are realizing it's easier to talk to you than it is to walk away from certain situations, whereas in the past you've felt so many times people betray you, walk away, take their own actions. The Three of Swords. You've seen and felt far too long, too many people just moving on, and making decisions. People doing a lot of things around you, and you've just been kind of reactionary up until this point. I think you are starting to be the introduction. I wanted to see the conduction. So it's almost like you are taking the power that maybe you didn't realize you were spreading yourself thin. And when you do that, your power becomes weakened because you're focused on either people that don't necessarily give you anything. What I'm trying to say is your power was spread thin, the Six of Swords in reverse. I think you had spent so much time focusing on people that didn't have your best interest. You have a thought process that can be a little obsessive, and I think you're putting an end to overstimulation of being hurt. The feeling of being betrayed is washing out of you. The Six of Swords, you're not going to have to fight alone in the near future, and that's because you decided to just speak your piece to people. You have been more open-hearted, forward motion, eccentric, I want to say. It's almost like you're putting the idea that you're moving forward. You've been in a stasis, a period of idle. You've been doing nothing for a period of time, and you're taking yourself seriously, and I think that with that, a lot of people are taking you seriously as well. And in the near future, it'll be obvious because people will start fighting with you and for you. Okay. With that, you gotta know I love you. Hello, pile two. What is up? I hope you are doing so well. This is what is coming towards you and why. That could be people, mindsets, people changing their mind, I'm hearing, but it could be a place, offers, things of that nature, what is coming towards you, and perhaps why. I remember this card because I was like, I like the card. It's the Three of Swords. A unwelcome signifier usually means signs of broken heart, ill conceptions of love. It's a really pretty card, but it seems as though maybe people around you and you, there's a big hurt amongst lack of loyalty with a lot of people. I think that there is a openness, a shroud has been upon the lands, a darkness. I think a lot of people have been under judgment for a while and not considering how good life could be in a different way, being a different way. And I think that that is coming for a lot of people around you. I think a change in perspective. The Empress. People choosing better paths for themselves. I think a lot of realizations about just what are we doing? Why are we being held back? Oh my gosh, there's a 3 right here at the top of this, and then a 3. The Empress is number 3 in tarot, and the Three of Swords, obviously. But with these two things is a 6, and that means love. 6 is the number of love. I think you've been a period of rest, recovery. You could have seen a lot of weird illness in certain ways, maybe feeling kind of pukey, nauseous. There's a sense of maybe people making you feel nauseous. Lots of turmoil and thoughts of negativity has spread over for far too long, and this is a period of getting back on the saddle for a lot of people, and I think you're about to indirectly be a part of that in certain ways, but also directly as well. the Daughter of Wands, which would be the Page of Wands. I think people are starting to see your side. You will be recognized in a sense of, maybe this person was right. Like, damn, I think that they were onto something this whole time. You were being actualized. I think your power is being brought forward in certain ways. You're being considered by a job, or I'm hearing a company. So it could be for company, as in like better company, better people around you that will present you with better opportunities in your life. But it seems as though with the Two of Wands, you're making a decision to move forward in a certain way, and it's presenting more opportunities and lifestyle changes that you didn't see maybe a few months ago. I think that these are sporadic things that at one point it was so hard for you to want to move forward. I think that there was a lot of despair, not wanting to do anything, desperation. And through that, you've realized a lot about yourself that you felt is worth fighting for now. You could, the Star, it just could be that you're seeing people reach out to you more frequently, or you're becoming more of a commodity. There's something about your future is being actualized because you got the Star upright, the 3, here we go with the 3 again, so 369. Damn, they fine. So could be you're attracting people that want to build with you, escalate situations without you begging. It's almost like you're no longer accepting mediocrity. You're seeing where with it there was a period of rest, and with that you saw where people were really dragging. People did not promote your life betterment. It's almost like you're on display for a lot of people that just didn't want to see you shine in certain ways, and through that I think they're going to watch you shine brighter than ever. You could be keeping on the low right now. You're keeping someone maybe on the low. You could be hiding some of your social aspects or love or identities in certain ways. There's certain things that you're hiding from the open air. You're being, there was a misjustice in your life because this is the Justice, and it was in reverse, and it came out with the 3 of Pentacles and the Star card. People have always felt your zest for life, your juicy, I'm hearing cadence. So it's almost like people like the way that you speak, the way that you are is refreshing. I think you being hyper vigilant in people's lives, I think that you know things about people because you listen, you care to hold conversations, you care to remember things, you care to get to know why people are the way that they are, how they tick, why they persevere. You're interested in that. And there was a severe inaction by people in the past because they were frightened by if they were to put you on in some way or promote you in a certain way that you would overshadow them. And I think that's always been kind of fearful. And I don't think you necessarily want that from anyone, because then you've been tied to a lot of people in your life and it has faltered, it has fallen through, you've felt a lot of pain and resentment, and your star form is coming to shine once more. I think you are finding the summit of the mountain that you've been climbing for years as of lately. I think you've had a corrosive nature when it comes, you've thought about all of your past experiences and you're like, good riddance. You don't care to itemize your life in ways of like, what have you gained? What have you lost? So you're not hurt right now, but there are a lot of people that have their hurt feelings around you. I don't think that you are necessarily a kind person. Well, you are kind. You're extremely prevalent in love. The thing is with you is that you love and you love and you love until someone gives you a reason not to, and then that turns into the opposite. You have a hard time not staying in. Once you don't like someone, you just don't like them. And I am hesitant to say hate, but you just don't care to revisit people, places, or things if you have a negative reaction or connotation with it. And that's done you for better. I think you're reaching the summit of the mountain, and on display is how people have treated you. And I think it will become very obvious in what ways you are going to build the High Priestess, the Father of Wands in reverse, and then the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Ex-lovers, they will not have any reign over your life. I don't think that anyone has anyways. I think there was just a sense of loneliness for there was a period of time of loneliness. And the Father of Wands was the King of Wands. I think the rancid, there's a type of person that comes towards you in life. I think you have a striking nature and you attract many different kinds of people, but you tend to fall into a pocket of certain friends or acquaintances. Your lifestyle has always promoted certain things. And that could be having you attract like slutty partners. I wanted to say bimbos, but I mean that in like men can be bimbos as well. You could just have a thing where there's a lot of hurt with sexual nature. It seems there's a sensitivity towards people being loyal to you. I think loyalty, people pushing things under the rug. You've remained quiet in a lot of ways of your life, and it has hurt you in certain aspects where you felt like you were overlooked, or you lash out because you didn't display your emotions, you kept them to yourself. There's a certain aspect of the High Priestess, you not even caring any longer. It's almost like, what am I on this life for? I've worked this hard up until this point. I might as well speak my mind, be the way I'm going to be outwardly, and that will be that. I'm just going to be the way that I feel in my heart. And with that, I think that it's going to help dull some of your edges, because you can only change the way that you are if you're openly the way that you are. You might have negative reactions with people, you might have positive reactions with people, but you can only know forward motion if you are honestly the way that you are outwardly. You've been neutering your personality in certain ways, so when you do put forth certain emotions or delegate truths in certain ways, there's something about you hold yourself back in certain ways, so when it comes out janky or indifferent. There's a skew in your nature, and you being more forthright, out front, will not falter your growth. It's almost like you're tiptoeing around certain ways of life, and that will only slow your progress. The Fool. You're not being foolish by being yourself. There is a strength. The Zero. Zero the Fool. It makes me think that you think you're being foolish by being yourself with certain people, whereas it's actually promoting those type of people towards you. The Three of Cups, and it is upright. There is going to be spiritual success, I hear, but also physical success in friendship, gaining a community. I think that there's a community where you won't feel like you are hurting. You aren't spreading yourself thin. You will be amplifying your personality. You will be a part of a group that is beneficial, buildable, things that you've never really considered in friendships or friend groups. I think you will find they naturally itemize. You are coming for a lifestyle change, and it's through community. There's a reverence for your abilities and the way that you're playful, but I'm hearing shrewd. There's a definite hard nature to you, and that is what people are going to be drawn to. You are changing people for better while they change you for better. This is the Nine of Swords in reverse. The nightmare is coming to an end. The nightmare is coming to a rest. I think that there's a lot of indifference that is washing out of your life. And that's on your side. I think you are going to finally want to hang out with people again. You're going to want to build with humans again. And it's going to be prosperous in a lot of ways. You aren't going to have to end this community in despair. It seems like a lot of things in your life have gone out the window, and you feel a lot of people have been derivative of your personality. That is no longer. You will be a part of things, and they will grow with you. They will not grow out of you in spite of you, these sort of things. I think that you've had a lot of people betray you, and a lot of things have just gone to the wayside. A lot of things have wasted away in front of you, and prosperity and growth is coming. Roots are being set beneath, and now they're about to, the stalk, the stem, the flower, the tree, it's about to jut up out of the ground with fertile. Your life is fertile. It's going to be good. I promise you. It's about to grow in many ways. On all the ways that have been nightmarish, I think that those are coming to, they have climaxed in the past. I think that the worst is over. And with that, you gotta know I love you. Alrighty, pal. 3. Hi. So this is what is coming towards you and why. What you should be aware of. It's a person, place, ideas. You have the Empress. Hello, hi. Empress, the 3. You could have, I'm hearing, lots of siblings, maybe 3. There's a sense of you catering to other people, quite often perhaps taking care of certain people in your life. You could have this sense of monotony, or people around you are maybe weighing you down or dragging you down, and I don't think that that's necessarily something you care to relinquish. You're just feeling very heavy as of lately because of your responsibilities, and I think the 5 of Swords in reverse, a lack of people trying is coming to an end. I think that people are realizing where success could be had. You have the 3 of Cups. So there's a 3 theme today. And when I see 333 in life, it makes me think of necessary evils. So perhaps you've dealt with a immovable force, something you couldn't really maneuver very easily, perhaps someone with higher authority or something you couldn't really speak up about, you have dealt with for a very long time. And just it's coming to an end. The death card, but in reverse, it's coming to end in a strange way. I think for better, when it's the death card in reverse, I don't necessarily think of something drastic. Maybe you've seen the end coming for a while. It almost seems as though these things that are happening now you've wanted for so long, but you haven't seen the way forward. And alas, the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, it was because it was not your move to make. There's a lot of divine timing in this scenario that you've dealt with, because natural progression has had its hand, and it's almost like success is seeing its day. I don't know why I said it in such a strange way. Maybe you've never felt prosperity in this way. Maybe you've always gotten to a certain point in your life and then it reverts. You've made it to certain points in your life and it always seems to falter back to a state that you can't manage to progress out of. The King of Cups, and it was upright. I would think perhaps you've had a lot of fleeting love experience. You've had a lot of people surrender their better thoughts or hope. The way that you are has been a little, at times, indifferent, but it's almost like you're trapped in your head, full of deep desires and emotions that you have just never let out. You failed to speak outwardly about the things that are heavy on your person. And the 10 of Wands in reverse, it is calcified your exterior, your heart. I think it's really hard for you to speak your emotions. Perhaps as a child or at some point in your life you were reprimanded for being emotionally consistent. It's almost like someone was emotionally obtuse with you. Maybe you felt crazy for being outwardly emotional. There's a hold up when it comes to speaking the truth of how you feel, being loving, honest. You've kept these things inside for so long and they feel very rigid. It's almost like it's a mace, like a spiked ball, a rigidity inside of you. You're just like knocking around what seems like a mechanical body. You're going through the motions every day in your life and you've not allowed yourself deeper, adequate emotions, and you've allowed spiritual growth in certain ways, and that has amplified your life in so many aspects. I think that you are very spiritual, aware of yourself, but alas, your 6 of Cups, maybe the only good memories that you have are maybe more familial, or it's very deranged. The things that bring you nostalgia have a quirkiness to them, maybe a morbidness. There's something that's very derivative of pain from your past, and it's made you into this mechanical animal. It's turned you into a person that does not know how to communicate with others about more emotional topics. Romance is in your mind, but not in your heart any longer. The High Priestess in reverse. There is a wave of emotion that's hitting you lately, and it is for better. I think that you need to, the Page of Wands. The Page is such an adolescent feeling. I think you're scared of moving forward in certain ways of your life because it is so undetermined. It's almost like you would be bushwhacking, you would be creating the path. You've taken the path of least resistance in a lot of ways of your life. You've let go of a lot of malice. You've taken on determination for success. And I think success has been fleeting in a lot of ways because life has a path. It wants you to create a path. There's a lot of lack of information, the ways that you're going. You have to think for yourself. You have to make determinations for yourself in order to hit this new stride. You need to push forward. You got the Page of Wands and then the Page of Cups. And these two cards are the most childlike in nature. There's a response that you're feeling to the way life is right now that you have not felt in any other way. In a long time, perhaps, maybe you are feeling, apologies. So, these two very childlike cards are you coming from a place of wonder. I think that there is a dismay for how you are taking things on, like the way that you are becoming. People are confused about your motives, perhaps because you were bad at displaying yourself in the past, honestly or prophetically. It's almost like you had a real disdain with being honest and upfront at some point in your life. You're very surface level with a lot of aspects of your life. There's a few people that know what's going on deeper inside of you, and it's almost like you didn't let them in on these new enterprises that you have going on in your mind. And I think that they are coming to the surface. Things are coming, they're bubbling up to the surface, and you're having the opportunity to make a realization of new success. You have an opportunity by looking into yourself and being more pure outwardly. If you feel something, say something. Almost. If you don't know how to express those feelings or those words, just express what you do know to the people that you feel it for. Because these things, the scarier the nature of it, usually the better it looks at the end. The more twisted and turns, it's all a facade. It's almost like life is trying to scare you out of your ultimate direction just to see if you are strong enough to push forward. The Six of Wands, there is success in you pushing the boundaries that you feel. If you have a hard time expressing your emotions to people or telling people what you think you deserve, these conversations need to be had. You need to be willing to step away from things if that is the necessary. You need to be willing to take those small steps, taking odd situations, odd jobs. I'm hearing there's certain things that you will feel akin to, maybe for very little rhyme or reason besides just an emotional attachment to them. And I think that the sun, You need to shine on into those things. You need to put forth, you need to radiate yourself towards the things that you have been hiding deep down. You need to permit yourself to feel deeper and to express those deeper things, because they will allow you forward motion in ways that have been very fleeting in your life. I think all of these misconnections, misconceptions, there have been some wires crossed along the way, and you think that emotional health, emotional gain, romance, love, friendship, all of these things are separate. No, they're not. They're not. For you, they're not. These things are all connected, and life has provided twists and turns for you to come to realizations in certain ways, and through that, a more loving environment, a more sensitive side of you. I think a way of being, you're going to find more creativity, more romance in life, more to fight for in certain ways. I don't think you enjoy fighting, so maybe that's a negative word. There's more for you to love in life. There's more to you. It's plain and simple, but there's more for you to indulge in. And I think that you delegating yourself in certain ways, you're spreading yourself thin on paths that will never be seen through. You won't see these things through. The Ace of Swords. Your emotions are a big factor in the things that are leading you in this day today, moving forward. Your emotions are a huge factor. So when things make you feel stressed out, you need to figure out why those things are making you stressed out. Maybe if you can communicate with those people or those direct situations, you need to face head on. There's a lot less being quiet, being passive. There's a lot less dealing with things silently because it's easier for you to just do them quickly on your own or something like that. More partnerships, more communication, more investments to be had in the future in a lot of different ways. And it's going to be a lot different for you, but I think you'll come to, it'll be good. It's going to blindside you the way that you're going to be happy. But okay, with that, you gotta know I love you.